I need help. I know in my heart and my gut has been screaming at me for years. However, when he tells me all his ridiculous excuses, he says them so much and so matter of fact that I start doubting what I already know. Then when I leave the conversation and think back on everything, I get so pissed off because I know he just lied his ass off to me all over again. I need help. What do you all think? I don't get how I can find all these text messages of him flirting and sexual flirting. Like him asking this chick if they had a part. She said, yes, 6 of them. He asked, do you have eyes on them? She said, yep. Had my hands on them too, he said, don't be touching my product now. Then a minute later said, don't be touching my product now. Then she said, already did. He then said, you're so bad. She said, I know. Now to me with him saying the same text, twice like that. First with a D, then with a D tells me he texted that out twice because he knew what kind of answer he was going to get. I don't think he would have something like that either without knowing he wasn't crossing a line. Because he sent it twice. He knew he wasn't crossing any lines and knew he was going to get a text back saying some shit like what was actually said. All the nights he had to work late, then find out he was just talking to a dude that he worked with. Of course, that's probably a lie too. The times he had to fix third shift when he already had third shift up and running forever already. The places he went for lunch or after work that don't make sense or were deleted. Like, why would he drive 20 to 30 minutes in the wrong direction when coming home just to go to a gas station, get gas? Then drive to the town we live in, 45 to 55 minutes away. Go to the gas station, get gas again, then come home? The day he did that, his Google Maps shows that he went to the house that his friend was staying at. Of course, it's a she, and he had been talking to her, seeing her, sending her money, door-dashing her food all behind my back. I had to find everything before he told me. Not after he lied straight to face for months first, though. He has no clue why his Google Maps shows that he went there, though. He only went there one time, and he says that I know about that time. Then, his phone, keeping it close to him like it was life and death when he is home. Yet when he was at work, when it was more important that he actually keep his phone with him, he went on saying he forgot his phone in his office while he was on the floor for hours or on a forklift. Bit of backstory. He was the manager of a warehouse. Seemed to only happen when I was trying to get a hold of him, though. I've been through the text messages he didn't delete, and nowhere else is there anyone trying to get a hold of him for hours. Or him saying, bad time, I'll call, text you back. Saying he went through forklift training more than once and that other people had to go through it, so that took him to... IDK, none of that made any damn sense. Keeping his phone face down when it was on the table or on the couch arm right beside him. When it was to his face, it was close to his face, and tilted away from me, smiling and laughing at his phone, picking it up right away when it went off at certain times, yet always took his time looking at my texts. When he looked at his phone and saw it was me, I saw him on camera doing that way more than a few times, being a dick to me, nagging about everything I did, blaming everything on me for absolutely no reason at all, undermining me with his 3 kids and our only kid together. He would be in the car, talking on the phone, laughing and carrying on. The second he was off the phone and had to come in the house, he was shitty and in a bad mood. TMI, as soon as we got done having sex, he couldn't get away from me fast enough. He would get off, sometimes, and get off me, roll over, and go to sleep. That's not him, and he has never acted that way, except for a few months all this shit was going on. I feel so stupid. I don't know how I didn't see all this then, and I don't know why I'm even on here asking the world. Found newborn diapers in his car, another time a Lego toy, another time found a CSI card from Chuck E. Cheese, and a piece of a McDonald's toy. Found a DIY bead bracelet in my hallway, a diamond ring under my headboard in my bedroom, a gray face mask with diamonds all over it with a pair of earbuds that I've seen in my house before. The earbuds and mask were shoved in the back of one of his work storage things. I found it when he moved all his shit home to start working from home. Another TMI, I thought it would be fun to lock him up sexual. Well, it wasn't the first time I did that while he went to work, but around the time that he was being a dick, acting crazy with his phone, and the shit when we would have sex. He took a key to work with him. He said it was in case of an emergency. Guess what? An emergency just so happened to happen. He said he went to the bathroom, took it off, and then went back to his office and put it in his bag, but put the key on his desk by a box full of other keys and lost the key in that box. Why didn't he just put the key in his bag too? He doesn't know why either. When he brought all his work stuff home, I found a few locks and a few keys inside a book thing I bought him. I also found a big hair tie, wasn't mine. My hair is too thick for those. With one of those masks you get when you buy something from the sex store. I had that mask in a box in our bedroom. There was no reason for him to move it to his office. We weren't doing anything in his office, even more where one of us were blindfolded. He said at first it may have been one of the kids. Once he knew I wasn't buying that one for a second. He said he grabbed it because he wanted to put some stuff in his desk. For what? Again, it's not like we were playing in his office, we weren't anyway, but he was playing with someone in there. Then we come down to the missing condoms. He bought a big box for his oldest son. He gave him like 10. Well, his son didn't like them, so he got his own. The condoms came up missing, little by little. Again, he blamed the kids. His daughter is gay, and his second youngest still ain't had sex. Plus, the kids talk to me about sex and only me when it comes to adults. They would have told me, and best believe I asked all 3 of them. He also came home with scratches on his side back a few times. First, he said it was his hair growing back, and when he sat in his chair, it was scratching him. These were sex scratches, not little tiny hair growing back scratches. Then later he said it was from him going in between stacks of skids. I don't believe it for a second. New passwords, new email addresses, dating sites, and apps that he has no clue about, or there are pop-ups. I found a hair tie in his office with blonde hair in it. His daughter and I have brown hair. No one with blonde hair has been in this house for years. It was his niece, and she was here before we even had a thought of making that room his office. He says that he doesn't know where the stuff came from. He says the computer and phone shit just happened. He says he doesn't know why his Google Maps did that, says that he has guys that worked with him in his car. I don't believe a single word that he says about any of it. Everything he has done and everything he has said is textbook cheating. I think that's everything. Besides all the other shit I found on his computer and phone, I'd been texting everything out for a month if I texted everything.
To get a professional perspective on this story, we reached out to a psychologist. It's completely understandable why you're feeling this way. What you're going through is incredibly confusing and painful, and it takes a huge amount of strength to even start asking these questions. Let's talk about it, and let me tell you right away. No, you are not overthinking everything. You're thinking exactly the right amount, and your gut instinct is screaming for a reason, trusting your inner detective. The first thing you need to hear is that your intuition is spot on. That little voice in your head that gets angry after he gives you another ridiculous excuse, it's not a sign you're stupid. It's a sign that you're smart. It's your brain connecting dots he's desperately trying to keep separate. Think of it like a detective. A single piece of evidence, like a gray face mask with diamonds, might seem random, but when you pair it with the condoms going missing, the scratches on his back, and the blonde hair in his office, you've got a case that's impossible to ignore. He's a magician trying to distract you with smoke and mirrors, but you're not falling for the trick anymore. The problem isn't you, it's the plot. You mentioned how he's being a dick to you, nagging and blaming you for everything. This isn't just a mood swing. It's classic defensive behavior from someone who feels cornered by their own lies. He's creating drama to distract you and to justify his own actions to himself. He can't be a good guy in his secret life and a loving partner at home at the same time. So he makes you the villain of his story to make his cheating feel less wrong. The fact that he's a loving, laughing person on the phone and then comes home in a bad mood is another huge red flag. This isn't textbook cheating because it's in a textbook. It's textbook because it's a pattern of behavior that manipulators use to cover their tracks. Your next steps, from questions to action. I know you feel lost, but you've already started the most important part of the journey. You've seen the truth. Now it's time to act on it. Not for him, but for you. Document everything. Seriously. You've already done an amazing job collecting evidence, but keep going. Take photos of texts, record conversations if you can, check your local laws, and write down every single instance of his suspicious behavior and lies. You'll need this clarity for yourself, and it may be helpful if things escalate legally. Stop engaging in his lies. When he gives you an absurd excuse, don't argue with him. Don't try to prove him wrong. Just say, okay, and walk away. He's trying to drain your energy. Save it for yourself. His goal is to make you doubt what you know, but you don't need his permission to believe your own eyes. Create a support system. You've been carrying this alone for too long. Reach out to friends or family members you trust. Tell them everything. Having a safe space to vent and be heard will help you feel less crazy and isolated. You don't have to face this alone. You deserve a partner who makes you feel safe, loved, and respected, not one who plays mind games and makes you feel like a fool. The fact that you're questioning yourself is a testament to how good you are, not how stupid you are. Don't let his toxic behavior steal your sanity.